Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue to read the Iliad by Homer. I'm going to continue to read. So they waited, the old chiefs of Troy, as they sat aloft the tower and catching sight of Helen moving along the ramparts, they murmured one to another, gentle, winged words. Who on earth could blame them? Ah, no wonder the men of Troy and Argives under arms have suffered years of agony, all for her, for such a woman, beauty, terribly beauty. A deathless goddess, so she strikes our eyes. But still, ravishing as she is, let her go home in the long ships and not be left behind. For us and our children down the years and in irresisted sorrow. The murmured low, but Priam, raising his voice, called across to Helen, "Come over here, dear child. Sit in front of me so you can see your husband of long ago, your kinsman and your people. I don't blame you or hold the gods to blame. They are the ones who brought this war upon me. Devastating war against the Achaeans. Here, come closer. Tell me the name of that tremendous fighter. Look, who is that Achaeans here? To Stark and Grant. Many others afield are much taller, true, but I have never yet set eyes on one so regal, so majestic. That man must be a king." And Helen, the radiance of women, answered Priam, "I revere you so. Dear father, dread you too. If only death had pleased me then. Grim death, that day I followed your son to Troy, forsaking my marriage bed, my kinsman and my child, my favorite now full grown, and the lovely comradeship of woman my own age. Death never came, so now I can only waste away in tears. But about your quest, yes, I have the answer. That man is Atreus' son, Agamemnon, lord of empires, both a mighty king and a strong spearman too, and he used to be my kinsman. Whore that I am. There was a world, or was it all a dream?" Her voice broke, but the old king, lost in wonder, cried out, "How lucky you are, son of Atreus, child of fortune, your destiny so blessed. Look at the vast Achaean armies you command. Years ago I visited Phrygia, rife with vineyards, saw the Phrygian men with their swarming horses there, multitudes, the armies of Atreus. My Godon, like a god, encamped that time along the Sangarius river banks, and I took my stand among them, comrade in arms, the day the Amazons struck. A match for man in war, but not even those hordes could match these hordes of yours, your fiery-eyed Achaeans." And citing Odysseus next, the old king questioned Helen, "Come, dear child, tell me of that one too. Now, who is it?" "Shorter than Atreus' son, Agamemnon, clearly but broader across the shoulders, through the chest. There, you see, his armor's heaped on the green field, but the man keeps ranging the ranks of fighters like a ram. Yes, he looked to me like a thick-fleeced bellwether ram, making his way through a big mass of sheep flocks, shining silver gray." Helen, the child of Zeus, replied, "That's Laertes' son, the great tactician Odysseus. He was bred in the land of Ithaca, rocky ground, and he is quick at every treachery under the sun, the man of twists and turns." Helen paused, and the shrewd Antenor carried on her story. "Straight to the point, my lady, very true. Once in the past he came our way, King Odysseus, heading the embassy they sent for your release. Together with Menelaus, dear to Ares, I hosted them, treated them warmly in my house, and learned the ways of both, their strategies, their trades. Now, when they mingled with our Trojans in assembly, standing side by side, Menelaus' shoulders mounted over his friends in height and spread. When both were seated, Odysseus looked more lordly, but when they spun their appeals before us all, Menelaus spoke out quickly, his words racing, few but clear as a bell, nothing long-winded or off the mark. Though in fact the man was younger, but when Odysseus sprang up, the famed tactician would just stand there, staring down hard, his eyes fixed on the ground, never shifting his scepter back and forth, clutching it stiff and still like a mindless man. You'd think him a sullen fellow or just a plain fool. But when he let loose that great voice from his chest, and the words came piling on like a driving winter blizzard, then no man alive could rival Odysseus. Odysseus, we no longer gazed in wonder at his looks. Catching sight of a third fighter, Ajax, the old king asked her next, "Who is the other Achaean, so powerful, so well built? He towers over the Argives, his head, his massive shoulders." And Helen, in all her radiance, her long robes, replied, "Why, that's the giant Ajax, bulwark of the Achaeans, and Idomeneus over there, standing with his Cretans like a god, you see, and the Cretan captain form a ring around him. How often Menelaus, my good soldier, would host him in our house, in the old days when he'd sail across from Crete. And now I see them all, and the feared-eyed Achaeans, I know them all by heart, and I could tell their names, but two I cannot find, and they are captains of the armies, Castor, breaker of horses, and the hardy boxer Pelodioses, my blood brothers. Mother bore them both. Perhaps they never crossed over from Lacedaemon's lovely hills, or come they did, sailing here in the deep sea ships, but now they refuse to join the men in battle, dreading the scorn and curse hurled at me. I'm going to stop here today and continue next time. Thank you for watching.